Please. Indicom states here that police killing lawful but awful.
Right.
It was 2023.
Where is that? Vegas? Where?
Jamaica Observer. 2023 report. Indicom Commission investigation. Indicom says that while its probes have found that most police shootings are justified, result in no charges being laid, the body is suggesting that different approaches be employed to reduce fatalities.
Nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that.
This due during Parliament and External Affairs Committee examination of Indicom's report on Wednesday, on which opposition member Lisa Anna questioned why most officers involved in fatal shootings were not charged. So a long time the PNP have peddled this argument. Indicom
Neighbor, thank you for that. Thank you for that, my brethren. And that is what we're talking about. We are not here running our mouth because we are connected or because we support the current administration.
It says here, a great majority of police shootings, to use an American term, are lawful but awful.
Thank you.
Indicom boss.
Thank you.
Sorry, chaps. I just wanted to put.
No, I appreciate that. That was pro-quoted. I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
No, hold on, Soldier. Soldier, let me cut him off. Just let him land. Soldier, let him land. Let me cut him off.
May I come to you, Soldier? So, neighbor, what Vegi just did a while to substantiate the argument I posited just now, almost verbatim, that majority of those cases were never seen as extrajudicial. The others are still under probe.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're still under probe.
And I think, Chop, before Soji comes in, that we must not undermine institutions that we have agreed to set up to do a particular job.
But you are going to benefit from them if you were to form government too. But you ask a very serious question. I just want to answer it and and allow Soji to come in. You ask why? Why are they doing this? Cheap political maneuvering. Yeah? Cheap political. It is for no other reason other than politics. And let me explain to you why. When you have a political party like the PNP who has absolutely no plans for this country, they cannot present a plan. They cannot. First, you have to mute for a second there. Right. When you have a political party that has absolutely no plans for the country, when you have a political party that cannot point to their history, they cannot go back and say, under Michael Manley, we developed Jamaica. Under PJ Patterson, they cannot say that because that is not facts. And the minute they say it, we will rubbish it because the facts doesn't support that. So when you have a political party that cannot go on their record of performance and they cannot present a viable option to what exists today.
Yeah, but you're not suggesting, Chops, that that politics has been infused into JFJ?
Politics has been the nucleus of JFJ since in recent times. It didn't start out like that. It didn't start out like that. But I will tell you this, that the PNP has mastered the craft of infiltrating institutions and politicizing them. And I will repeat it. PNP has successfully mastered the craft of infiltrating institutions and politicizing them. They did that to the police force, and they have done it with several other entities in Jamaica.
So what we saw in Halfway Tree this week, you think it smacks politics?
I'll ask you this question. Choose any politician you may. Get his or her branded vehicle. Put 3 or 4 persons in there. Give them $100,000. And on election morning, ask them to stand outside of a polling division and issue money to some persons to reimburse them for transportation to come and vote. And when you finish with that exercise, tell me what the result would be.
Oh, yes, I see where you are.
The exact same thing that JFJ did. Just do the exact same thing at a polling station with a politician's car and tell me what the result is going to be.
well, that would be very serious, sir.
Also,
Hypocrites we are.
show up to a protest in PMP colors and tell me it's not a PMP protest.
Good. Good.
Uh-huh.
We are hypocrites and we need to stop it. These persons who are masking, me tell you already, I stand and I watch the gentleman from Montego Bay, who was a former Speaker of the House, former Member of Parliament. He's now on radio, acting as though he's neutral, and he's a political commentator, and he's an analyst. And nobody mentioned that he was former
I am in support of the
PNP.
police. I
Right?
am not supporting JFJ. And JFJ, they have to be here because they have to secure their fundings. I am only hoping and praying that the European Union will find some ways of defunding JFJ.
Mr. Chops, the JFD are funded by the European Union,
The
sir?
JFJ, they are funded by several international organizations. And let me explain something to you. One of those organizations would have been the American aid program, right? USAID. USAID supports a lot of these non-profit organizations in Jamaica. And what they have done, they have equipped themselves with some of the brightest minds from the University of the West Indies when it comes to writing programs to get those international grants. Another institution that is guilty of the same thing that JFJ is guilty of, justifying their position, is the Trevor Monroe-led former Trevor Monroe-led organization, right? That when the former ambassador from the United States here, NIA, when the former ambassador to the United States, to Jamaica from the United States, Ambassador Tapia, called out Trevor Monroe when he was trying to influence Ambassador Tapia, right, to go against the JLP, and Tapia asked him, show me the evidence. Show me the evidence about corruption that you're alleging against the current administration. And he was unsuccessful in doing so. And Tapia moved with alacrity to defund that organization. And I think these international organizations should take a good look at the current setup of JFJ and what they stand for. JFJ, as the former DSP said, they are not supporting crime fighting in Jamaica. And as such, we should look at how they are being funded. Look here, the minute, just think about this for a second. JAMP is another one. If there's no crime in Jamaica, which I think where God is going to bless us so well, and we are going to reduce murders in this country by single digits, if you ask me, 5%, 10%. And if God continues to bless us, which I think he will, and we manage to get murders and crime down to that level, do you think that entities like JFJ, JAMP, Integrity Action, those groups who rely on Jamaica being labeled the murder capital of the world, when Jamaica has no such label going forward, how do you think they are going to justify their funding? How do you think they're going to How do you think them? Exactly. And they are singing for their support. They want Jamaica to remain a murderous country so that they can continue to write programs to these international donors so they can secure funding for themselves. They are hypocrites. They are not for Jamaica. We must stand with Jamaica and stand up against those entities that are based on falsehood. No substance.
Mr. Nib, I'm gonna run here.
Jamaica girl. Can you just ask Casey if we can join him at 11:05, please. Let's give Soji a little time and politics and religion.
Yeah, man. And much me officer.
Yes, no.
And much me officer. Because me love here chaps them wheel off the truth, you know. What is happening? He said something about the.
Okay, great. All right, go ahead.
He said something about the infiltration of the agencies, and I can tell you, neighbor, I won't say much, but it is a truth. And when I said it is the truth, it is a big truth, and I have proof of that, heavy proof, but I can't say much. But I'm telling you, the PNP have infiltrated most of these agencies. They have people in certain position that trying to cause havoc. They might can't carve it, but they're trying to it. But turning to the crime issue, what I have to say is that, I look deeper into crime. Crime is my forte in terms of how I feel about crime in Jamaica. What we have to look at is that they say the police killed 106. Unalive 106 persons. But what you have to look at the areas they were taken out, just to show you it wasn't where they were born and grow. It was areas where they were running and hiding too, or where they have gone to create mayhem. I don't know if you guys are looking at it that deep. Notice most of them were not unalive in where they were born and grow. They were unalive in areas where they seek hiding. So it was targeted and precise going for them. Either they were running or hiding in different areas where they were taken out. And even when you look at those that were arrested, they were taken out in areas where they were hiding after committing their...
Soldier.
Yes.
Answer me this. Do you not find it curious that all of this is happening against the backdrop of a 36% reduction in crime in Jamaica?
Listen, I'm here. Listen.
Yes. Here we are with a focus on police killing. But at the same time, the government is achieving tremendous success in crime reduction. That seems, what do you make of that?
It is what it is, neighbor, in terms of we know who they are and know we are going after them. And the thing is, Jamaica can never be productive under such a crime rate. If we don't bring it down, people will not come here and invest. We don't even understand the magnitude of what is happening right now in Jamaica with the murders going down.
Yes.
We don't even. It's a big. I wouldn't call it humongous achievement, because returning residents are planning to come home. People are coming to invest. Neighbor, I meet people, every day, right now, since the last year, I've met people like every other day looking to buy property in Jamaica. I'm telling you, and this is not no make-up story. This is fact.
Yes.
Overseas people.
The point I wanted to raise with you, though, my brother, is here is an institution. I have no grudge, no bias there, that is out highlighting issues having to do with crime, while at the same time the government is very successful in reducing crime. I don't know how that is to be read.
But chaps, tell you, remember now they have to make noise. But the noise they are making is not going anywhere because it's going against the grain. What is the truth? Is the truth. And they're going against it. You understand? Because they have to look relevance. As the commissioner of police said, they are looking relevance. And there's no relevance to begin. Because what is happening is what the people of Jamaica want. The people of Jamaica want to live in peace and safety. That is what the majority of Jamaica want. 90% of Jamaicans want to live in peace and safety. And we have to remember that. That is the whole idea. When you send your child to go to the ATM to draw some cash, you want to send them there and knowing that nobody's going to hold them up. Nobody's going to try to rob them. You understand me? That is what Jamaica people want. And we have to target these perpetrators who continue to do these things. You understand me? So they're seeking relevance of the police back. Doesn't make any sense.
Yes, sir. All right.
To Viegi.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Is one way to look at is a simple way to look at this thing in Mr. Neighbor. I'm pulling up the document that Chaps was speaking about. Is a whole a thing here to go through. But a section of it states that in 2007, the international bodies, extrajudicial killings, the USSD report for 2007 noted, while the government or its agent did not commit any politically motivated killings, security forces committed unlawful and unwarranted killings during the year 2007. The 2007 Amnesty International report on Jamaica noted that reports on police brutality continued. At least 138 people were allegedly unalived by the police during the year. Impunity for police abuses and the complete lack of accountability in the security and justice system remained the norm. And it went on. It's
a long report.
Right. Chops. Let me ask you this, Chops. Why it is that we can't make certain issues in Jamaica non-political? For example, crime. Is this time
political?
We come together on this subject?
But neighbor, I had this discussion this morning and I have to put it here. I find it very strange that a country that has the history that Jamaica have, a country that has achieved what Jamaica is now achieving, a political party that has
Juba. Jamaican girl, mute Juba. Thanks. Mute Juba.
Yeah, I was simply saying this morning, Viegi and others, neighbor, everybody, I was saying to somebody this morning, in any self-righteous country, a country that has a high level of decency, with what we are achieving now in terms of reduction in murders and crime, that has been an albatross over the neck of Jamaica and has held us back for decades. And we are now at a crossroad where we are finally turning the corner on this monster. And you tell me that there are still Jamaicans who would not support that? What the government has achieved so far, I personally think that there should not be, the government shouldn't even have to campaign. The government shouldn't even have to put up a single placard, spend billions to run campaign that we could use, build 4 or 5 clinics. And that's why some system of governance in some country work. Because when people realize that this false argument that we posit about, you know what, yeah, it really don't work. Because if it really worked, look at what we have now.
Yeah, you are suggesting
politics.
that an authoritarian system of government probably
No, neighbor.
was better.
No, neighbor, you will never quote me on that. I will tell you
but
that.
But democracy in Jamaica probably has to be examined, sir, because
it has to be.
Steps forward. Hold on.
It has
we
to
take
be.
2 steps forward and 2 steps backward. And let me tell you this, this may irk some people and rub them uncomfortable. We must not go back, Chopper.
We shouldn't.
We must not go back. And to make a comment like that, I am not suggesting that you keep a party in power forever. No, but I think we have to agree on some things that we should not be reversed.
For example, when you achieve this level of reduction in murder, something that we know how negative it is on the country's economy, something that we know when you reduce murders, you are freeing up a whole lot of things. People don't understand.
And you know, Chops, there is a fear in Jamaica, in the underbelly of many Jamaicans, that a return to government of the People's National Party could drive us back. There's that fear that you pick up. People fear going back to the PNP. You understand?
Neighbor, but it is true, neighbor. It is the truth, neighbor. It is the truth. It is the truth. It's right there. It's right there.
I want to say something.
It's right there.
I don't want anybody to take offense to it. But I'm going to say it because it ought to be said. I don't know if you play poker. I don't know if Vegas play poker, Soji, winner, or anybody here.
Yeah, man, I play poker.
If we play poker, there's a thing with them call me see you.
Uh-huh.
You know what that means in poker?
Yeah, man.
Me see you.
Yeah, man.
Or better yet, me see you and
Yeah, man,
raise you.
raise. I raise
See
you.
you
Yeah,
and
man.
raise you.
Can me think say me hand better for you.
All right, so me gonna raise you.
And you know, Chopper,
Yes.
Chopper, you know why I come to that conclusion
Yes.
is when you listen to them, you know.
Yes.
The PNP, I can tell you, Diego, they sound like a group of people that feel that, you know, it's their time. You know, time come for the PNP may mean time come for them, you know.
Time come to choose Jamaica.
You know.
That is it.
Yes.
Time come for us to choose Jamaica.
Yeah.
For PNP and political rhetoric.
It's
Simple as
causing
that.
anxiety in the society. Diego is here from the PNP. Mr. Diego.
But before you jump in, I want to add something though.
Go ahead.
Because I've been stationed for a while. It is not in the best interest of the People's National Party for the government to reduce crime. Because that would be another checker. That would be another checker in the box of the government.
God.
One of the number one fear factor in any country is the potential loss of life. And if you have the people fearful, neighbor, you can't tell him anything. And the PNP wants the people to remain fearful that they can tell him anything. When you allow people to become brave and courageous because they no longer fear, that is the instinct that the PNP wants to remove from the people. A good comrade of the PNP from down here in St. Vincent have a recording where it tells you when the opposition comes to you and tell you that they want to talk about crime, you run them away.
I oppose them, only oppose to take power from them.
Oppose because they don't want the sitting government to solve crime, because once you do that,
that's it.
That's it. Everything else starts falling into place.
Everything. Your healthcare system now, is under stress because of crime. So when you reduce crime, it is going to open up and free up a lot of space within the healthcare system so it can function like it ought to. Can you imagine investment? Never ask any one of the comrades.
Right there, Chopper.
Any comrade that you interact with, ask them this question. What is their fundamental ideological construct? And they will tell you.
I'm gonna jump off my neighbor, but I just want to ask a quick question. Sorry, chaps.
Go
If you put out a question to the public overseas and people in Jamaica and ask them, would you rather to be in Jamaica or come to Jamaica when the crime rate is high, or when the crime rate is going down? What would they rather? They will quickly tell you, I would rather to go to Jamaica or live in Jamaica where the crime rate is down. This nonsense that people are pushing around is just a set of people that do not mean well for the country. And that is the whole idea of it. People overseas are applauding the security force. People who law-abiding citizens in Jamaica who want better for the country, they are applauding the security force. One time gone, brother, if you say protest against police, out of halfway through that black. Now we see people have to be getting stipend to go protest against the police. And we see people who are not afraid to put on them blue. You know, one time people afraid to say them and support the police because they're afraid my criminal analyze them. People are actually brave enough now to post the blue on your social media platform. And that is what we must look at.
Biggie, my blue the palm I can now come down, you know. My blue the palm I can now come down.
All right. Casey wanted to come in, but he's going to be remaining with us. Diego, you want to say something, sir?
Yeah, good morning, panel. Now, you see, it's just amazing, say, we have to stoop to this type of rhetoric in which we have to politicize things, like, say, PNP supporters are not in support of the reduction of crime because of political mileage. That is an absolute lie. No, you insult the intelligence of civilians in Jamaica, right? Now the JFJ was in a protest the other day, and all of a sudden.
Before you go on, let's discuss what you just said. You're saying, Diego, that the People's National Party supports.
Yes.
They support the government's effort to reduce crime in Jamaica.
Yes.
Ready?
Why was it then that your spokesman on national security, in his media statement, why did he not say that?
Listen now, neighbor. Let me give Bridget. No, the over the last 9 years, this government has recorded an average of around
Diego, your spokesman on national security.
Yes, me go get to it. I'm saying over 9 years, this government has averaged around 1,300 murders per year.
Diego, you come back with that, Diego.
Listen, me talk, Bridget. Listen, Bridget. Listen,
you come with that no average. Don't come with no average, man.
Hello, me can't answer you. Me can't answer you.
Yes, all right.
Diego.
Being what I would want.
Answer you. Being that we're going into an election year, right? The government has took on a strategy in desperation to try to sell themselves to say, listen, we can manage crime.
That's all conjecture. That's all conjecture.
Overall, they have failed, Bridget.
That's a lot of speculation. Just.
That is not speculation.
But this is the problem we have, neighbor.
No, brother, you started out right. Let's not.
But Diego, this
descend
is the
into-
part we have
into
wrong. This is what the
nonsense.
problem is, because we cannot, even in a civil conversation like this, we should have been now able to say, let us separate the politics from this. Whoever reduced murders and crime in Jamaica must be credited for it.
Right.
You're now coming out to put up some average. You're going to put up average now. And what you're going to do when you do that, neighbor, he's going to force me now to go back and remind the people, the hundreds of persons watching, that when the PNP took office in 1989, there were 434 murders.
And when they leave,
and when they deleted office, it was 1,688.
Can I answer you on that? Yeah, with that,
There's no average that can beat that.
No, let's refocus again, because I want to take you somewhere to show you that quite frankly you are being a bit of a hypocrite.
Go get it.
You want it?
No, in the suitcase. What the hell?
I had your chain back.
Go get it.
Jamaica girl, take New Vegas for me now.
No.
New Vegas.
So Diego,
It's funny.
hello.
I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm not going away, man.
Yes, you came up and you started to fly a psychological kite, as if you want to corner us. Don't do that.
That is not the narrative that I was. That is not the narrative. Listen,
All right. So
listen
answer the question. Your spokesman on national security commended the police, but he deliberately did not include in that statement any commendation for the state. Is that not disingenuous?
You know why it is not? Listen, all of these tactics could have put in place 9 years ago, and they didn't. They tried different strategies and they didn't work. They had to stoop to this level to gain traction, to sell themselves going into
What level? What level, sir?
What level? We gauge at what level? What traction you talking about?
Listen. Man,
What is our NIR?
Listen, that's why I didn't want to put clarity. That's why I didn't want to put clarity to LO.
What is our unemployment rate?
So what you want to man?
No, you have the discussion already, man.
Because you started the fire. No, sir, you started the
You
fire.
agree with me, Diego, and you come back with this again. Now you have the conversation.
Soldier. Don't go down the road with him because the life will get noisy.
All right.
Just mute and make him talk and then not challenge him, please.
Listen, I was saying this to say that the JFJ did came out on their stance. They said they are against the police. They are asking for accountability, and you guys are not even stressing the point. Say, yo, we need more accountability. We are saying this to say that we need the cameras, and if we have to get more money to buy more cameras, we will approve. The citizens of Jamaica who pay taxes in the country would approve of any more money that's supposed to take out of anywhere for fund to get more body-worn cameras. So when it's justified, we're not saying all of the killings them that are happening are extrajudicial killing in terms of boy police go look for man and him never have a gun, right? Saying this that we're trying to eliminate the cause. We say, yo, police can do unscrupulous things. We try prove that them innocent when analyzing citizens of Jamaica. And well-thinking Jamaicans know that a large percentage of the crime that took place, can we call it crime, when the police go out and analyze people, are not justified. What we are crying for is accountability, Bridget, because that get out of control. It's simple, you know.
Sorry, but there is no evidence, Diego, that there is anything getting out of control.
That's why there's not accountability. That's why you can conduct anything as a police.
No evidence that it is getting out of control. There is no evidence.
1 second. 1 second. Diego, you start by saying, let's not politicize this. And you jump straight to politics by claiming that the government effort to bring down crime is because of an impending election. That tells me that coming from a PNP perspective is seeing the government bringing down the crime rate as a bad thing for the PNP. Because you are claiming that the government is doing the right thing because an election is around the corner.
But he could have done it from the start of his tenure, Bridget. Why now? How many months this government has been in power?
Diego. Crime was always coming down in stages year after year. It didn't take 1 year or 2 years. And you guys were fighting the implementation. And so the result took a bit longer. Diego, if the election was due in 2027, do you think the opposition and the JFJ would have had the demonstration you had since week? Would you?
Bridget, listen. It's alarming that the first time.
No, answer my question. Yes or no, because it's my time.
If it was that, yes, Bridget, they would have demonstrated.
But you wouldn't be of the view that the government are bringing it down because the election is around the corner, because it seems as if that is the reason for your protest.
I am of the view that because of political mileage, the government has stooped to this level to use it as a political. That's all me, Bridget. They could have initiated this strategy months and years ago, Bridget.
Can I ask you a question, Diego? What was the percentage in terms of analyzing in 2023? What percentage down was it?
Me not have the numbers them.
9%. 9%. What was it in 2024?
Answer, just start now. Yeah, ask me a rhetorical question.
19%. What is it in 2025? 37%. Isn't that sound like a trend to you, Diego?
Listen.
Hold on. I'm going to go now. The PNP have always been championing and asking the government, where is your crime plan?
Hold on.
Who's this? Where is your crime plan? The government.
Listen.
Are you going to allow me to make my point?
All right. Talk.
The PNP has been asking for the longest time, and this has always been a political drive for the PNP. Where is the crime plan? Where is the crime plan? Everywhere you go, every platform, every political stage, where is the crime plan? The government did not answer. The government strategically fixed the economic issues, employed more persons, increased youth skills up training of our youths, getting youths out of the streets, right? Whilst also equipping our police. The largest investment since the independent Jamaica has been done by this government in the police force.
21 times PMP.
Training.
21 times.
All right. Winner.
You attack me right now, trap. Brethren,
you never say soldier stop you a while ago.
No, me don't stop him. Because you don't allow me to finish what I'm saying. Right? You are saying this is a last effort from the government, which is a lie.
Exactly, Brethren.
No, hold on, Brethren. When the government
this effort started years ago.
When the government asks for the state of emergencies And immediately, when the results generated 17% down, the PMP went back to Parliament and voted against those state of emergencies. They would say it was unconstitutional. And now me hear Mark Gold with that plan to say, listen, okay, the police knows this 400 known criminals. Let us set up detention camps for these people. All of a sudden now, Mark Gold is not considering constitutional rights of people. It shows you guys that it's a political maneuvering by the PMP because solving crime is not in the best interest of an opposition. Not just Jamaica, but across
listen,
the
my
world.
winner. You know why the PMP is campaigning on where's the crime plan? Over the last 30 years, the best administration that dealt with crime was under the PMP. You understand? And that's a known fact when you look at the numbers, sir.
Take him down.
No.
You understand?
No. Hold on. No, hold on, winner. Give us the numbers, please.
No, I looked at a graph the other day, sir. And
The numbers that you just, sir. Hold on.
No,
You're not gonna wiggle away. Hold on. You're not gonna. Hold on, bro. You're not gonna wiggle away on this one. Hold on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
You made a point earlier on, and when Dina came on and asked you for the data, you said you did not know, right? Now you made another point, right? Which you must have numbers to support your argument.
Yeah.
What were the numbers?
All right. I say this to say that's Vegas. Doing my research, because I'm there at a place where me not write down my documents them.
Then why are you?
Where can we find
No,
information?
listen up. You can go, hello neighbor, you have a phone and a computer right at your desk.
Where can we find
If you can look when Jamaica under any administration under the last 30 years, the PMP administration had recorded the lowest crime rate over a 4-year tenure bridging.
What is that?
You
number?
understand? And that is a known fact.
What is
a
that
known
number?
fact.
Sir.
I don't have to tell you the numbers. If me I tell hello,
Sir,
we the on the live.
What it? Brother.
Listen. I go back to say this again, Mr. Vegas. Mr. Vegas.
No.
Mr. Vegas.
No.
Mr. Vegas, listen to what I say now.
Sir, this is not intellectual reasoning, sir. You pose yourself on the internet. You put yourself on the internet as an intellect. Me here on platform, I say, you go up on platform and mash up the whole of the labor right there. Now you're making a strong point, or you're taking a strong position, brother.
Yes, and I talk with no water in my mouth, Regine.
Sir.
I talk with no water in my mouth.
Sir. What are the numbers to substantiate your claim? Give me the number. Give me the number, brother.
I ain't tell no lies. The PMP has recorded less murder.
And what
over the last 30 years, it's known for
and give me the numbers.
Excuse me, please. Mr. Diego.
Yes, Sina.
I'm a person with I'm on the fence right now. And I need facts to make up my decision, to make a decision to vote. You come on this platform and you are making substantial things, but you are not bringing evidence. Where do you put me as a
all right. Mr. Sina?
No, this is well on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
If
when
you
I finish that answer,
answering question, when the question is asked by you, what is your purpose on this life? You can't talk now. Can't answer me now.
Listen, Mr. Senior, good morning. You say he's on the fence. No, well-thinking Jamaicans know that. I say this. Every administration that come into power do a level of good. It's a level of negativity that you do determine if you stay in power or not. Now, we can see this government has taken strategies to curb all of the mishaps that's taking place in the country. And we are saying, in our general context, that they have failed. You understand? And in a last-ditch effort, I see the JLP representative going around that Yeah, man, we solve crime and we bringing down crime and this and that.
Diego.
Which is fact. Well, I know I'm going to talk and every minute you're going to interrupt, man.
Listen, just one on, gentleman. Make him talk. I will answer him.
You understand?
No, so I want to answer him because I did it.
I want to answer him.
So, you know, respectfully, beyond party lines and without the cloth over our eyes, what would we see in the hypocrisy that is taking place? You understand? This government has came out and their supporters are saying is the PMP did stop them from maneuvering these strategies where they might take place right now. You could have saved lives. Every year, every year this government has on an average from 2016 till now, they have averaged 1,300 plus murders per year. And we are saying you could have took on this initiative long ago.
Okay.
All right, sir. May I say something to you?
May I
answer to you?
Hold on.
No, me no want to leave the point, man.
Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me just deal with this matter of average and crime for Diego, and then you can talk. I'm going to jump off after that. Just listen to me, Mr. Sina. Diego, 2016 to now, on average, the crime has been high. Average has been very high, as you put it. But listen to this now. Yeah, listen to me. 1989, the PMP got the crime at 434, the murder rate at 434. Yeah, listen to me. It peaked at 1,600 under the PMP. Why? Because there was no opportunities for the youths. There was no way out for any ordinary Jamaican. There was nothing to do because nothing was provided. So yes, you're right, on average, the Andrew Holness government would have seen more murders. But here where it came from, because of the devastating state the PMP has left Jamaica in. But look at this now. In the last 3 years, we are looking to see this year go down to under 800. That is a major to what your government had done to the country before. And now Andrew Holness and his government is fixing it. You don't come here, come talk about average. Because the average came about because of your government. Your government. The average came about because of your government. So don't come and talk to you about this already now. You're school, you know. Don't come here, come talk about average. We all know that. We're bright like you. But it was created by your government and non-action to help the poor people of Jamaica.
Soji, I don't disagree with you, Soji. I don't disagree with you, but listen, let me answer you this and that part. Soji.
All right, one deal.
Me just said this to you, Soji. I heard about you talk about more than one occasions. You talk about 1989 and how the crime rate rose. Now listen, it so happened that miraculously, an organization came out and apologized for the infiltration of the Jamaican government to destabilize it and make crime run rampant. In that same era that you're talking about. When? Which year?
Yeah.
Throughout the 90s.
90s? Which organization?
Throughout the 90s and 80s, Bridget, them came out.
Which organization came out and said that? I'm going to send me find that.
Yeah, man.
You find that information.
You look it up, sir.
I can find that information.
You look it up.
No, you are
all right.
Give me the information.
I'll do better for you. Never inbox you. I'll show you the apology.
Where I can get the information. Don't inbox me.
I will inbox you. I will inbox you the information, sir.
Send me tell me where I can get the information. Don't inbox me.
Google.
Tell me where I can get the information.
Google.
Soji. What he's doing is Soji. He's talking about the propaganda from the 70s where people are talking about.
I know that Vegas, I know.
Well, let me finish.
I know Vegas, I'm not going to deal with it.
Let me finish, Soji. The man here, him readily have the information about the 1,300 average. readily have the information. But when you ask him to give you information or any form of numerical value, from what must say, when it comes on to the PMP, oh, me I forgot look for it, me I forgot send it to you. Me not have the number at hand, all them thing about him. Somehow, sir, do you see me attack? Somehow, he finds a way to memorize the numbers when it comes on to the Jamaica Labour Party. The only thing he does on the internet is grab talking points of his pages that he goes on to, and then posit them. He has no information or source to provide. See, I tell you about in the 90s when he allude to the CIA argument. He not even knows that was not in the 90s, because of those argument when gather on social media and composite it. Him not have no information, brother. I want to do right now, I just waste time with Diego where can't put a sentence good together.
I want to ask him a question, alone. When the PMP, I look at the graph that Diego looked at, Diego, when the PMP got murdered on 11 from the 434, and they deposit that to 1600 when they left office in 2007, you would have a straight line graph, correct? You basically have a straight line graph.
Yeah, my boss. I just pull up on my next phone and give you.
And when the Jamaica Labour Party got that from the PMP in 2007 and demit office in 2011, which direction the graph was heading, Diego?
Talk again, winner. Talk again.
All right, so we got a straight line graph, right, from the PMP, increasing, straight line graph. I'm looking at a graph. When the Jamaica Labour Party left office in 2011, because they reigned from 2007 to 2011, what direction was the graph heading?
All right. I can see where in 2006, right, on the graph, the murder that year was 1,340.
No, I'm not asking that. I'm asking about the graph.
Hold on. Let me explain something to you, man.
No, I don't want the numbers. I want graph, because even if you have a straight
I'm looking at a graph right now. I'm looking at a graph right now.
Hold on.
Diego, we don't have all day for this. Can you just give us the information, please? We need to move.
No, I don't want information.
No, we not ask me a question, man.
No, Diego. You're trying to be slick. If you do maths, you know that some of the data points will be outside the line, the straight line. So I'm asking about the straight line curve. You do maths so bright, you're supposed to know which direction the graph is heading. It's a straight line graph moving from 400 to 1600, Diego. Which direction was the graph?
Help him, make him turn. Winner, help him out now. Make him turn on him camera and show you.
Turn on the camera.
Help him out. Just make him turn on him camera and you get one of the
Listen me now, winner.
Get an electronic pen. Hold on.
Listen me now. You look a petty argument and now.
No, but turn the camera. No, I'm not being petty. Turn the camera on. So
just easy, my brother.
Sir, hold on.
Just
Turn the camera
on. Come to this, brother, man.
I am very
just show him the graph and put the argument to rest here.
very patient.
The graph was trending down.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it bold.
You would say
the
that.
graph was trending. The graph was trending down in 2012. Coming down, the crime went down. The graph had an upscore from 2007.
Hold on. So let us analyze the graph for persons that are there. So we had a
Where do we find the graph?
Jamaica Constabulary Force website. So you have a straight line graph for the PMP. The Jamaica Labour Party gave a downward trend. So therefore, it could be interpreted that the PMP inherited a downward trajectory in terms of crime rate or in terms of violence or death of individuals. It's because of the mechanism that were implemented by the Jamaica Labour Party. We had criminals, we had gangs on the run, we also had the Tivoli incursion. Right? The PMP significantly benefited from that. It was Peter Bunting, the former Minister of National Security, who went on stage and cried like a baby, bawled tears out of his eyes, and said we need divine intervention because despite his best efforts and the efforts of the security forces, he's unable to manage and crime.
All right, we know.
Run left. Why you trying to interject right there, sir? Why you trying to come right there, sir?
Well, I know because you said something. I more and give clarity to it,
what you're trying to do, sir, what you're trying to do is to make sure that the point that I'm trying to make is null and void. Please don't do that.
But me not disrespect you, Bridget.
The former national security minister came on national TV and bawled like a little schoolgirl, saying despite his best effort and the efforts of the Jamaica Conservative Force, he could not solve the crime monster. And all of a sudden, the PNP is now pretending as if the crime monster that we are challenging is a baby monster.
All right, listen now, winner. Give me a chance to talk now.
No, man, go ahead.
When I'm looking at this graph, an upspoor of crime from 2007 to 2011 was enormous. Now, being fact that you mentioned the incursion and thing, you know, Mr. Kudos to that in terms of you say we benefited half of it. Because when me look at the crime statistics in 2012, 2013, 14, and 15, crime went way down. Now, when me look at the graph, crime rose tremendously back in 2000. Listen, in 2000 and 2012, Jamaica had 1,097 murders.
May I say something, Diego?
Yeah.
I think we are doing an injustice to the progress Jamaica is making.
True.
By engaging in this discussion. Here hold on. Here are we. Wait, just a minute, sir. Here are we celebrating a 36%. You know what is the value of a life, sir?
Exactly. That is my point, neighbor.
Wait. I don't know what your point is. Listen to me. The discussion that we are engaged in does not do justice to the government's achievement. What we are doing is using history, and it is important that history be looked at. But I think in the context of where we are today and where it is that we are going as a country, this discussion is not proving very fruitful.
That's all.
Hold on. Finally, sir, I have to be on a break. I have asked my moderator, Jamaican girl, to fill in for me for a little while. So I'm going to ask you to respect her Jamaican girl.
Yes.
I need to be on a little break. Just.
Haven't heard him. Truth be told, you can go ahead. Okay then. All right, go ahead, Uriel.
I asked this gentleman a question up till now and I don't get an answer. And I still would love to hear him answer me.
I don't think we're gonna get that today. So
why is he here?
But listen, you can't say that Jamaican girl, man.
Yeah, but he's asking you have an answer. He gave you the opportunity to answer, and we still haven't heard the answer.
Yes, me can't answer him now, Jamaican girl. No, me can't answer him now.
I'll give you 2 minutes. Go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Senior. What are the information that you're seeking now? Are the evidential facts that you need to see? I have them in front of me right now, so you can ask a question now, Mr. Senior.
No, sir.
The question was already asked, Diego.
I asked you.
No, I remember the question when asked. Him say, why did I come on the program and don't have the information at ready? So I say, all right, let me go for them then. Because Mr. Senior says on the fence, so we can give him the evidential facts.
I said to you, I'm a person that is on the fence now, listening to all of you and want to make a decision. But you come here, you speak rubbish because me live in Jamaica, me know what happening in Jamaica. Me a old man. Me know what happening here. And most of the things we put out your mouth is rubbish. Me can tell you that straight, with no disrespect.
Yes, but Mr. Senior, as an elderly, Mr. Senior, respectfully, but respectfully as an elder, I speak the truth. I told you that over the last 30 years, is the PNP recorded the least amount of murders in Jamaica, Bridget. Where's the lie, Mr. Senior?
If you were speaking the truth, I would not have said what I said.
Yes, because I'm not speaking what you want to hear. Listen, Mr. Senior,
no,
as an elderly,
I want to hear the truth.
Yeah, Mr. Senior,
respectfully. Let me ask you this simple question. And I want you to listen to me perfectly.
Yeah.
If you have a car and it breaks down badly, You have to fix that car before it come to realization that it come back good.
It come back good. What you mean?
You have a car and it break down bad, mash up.
Yeah.
And you need that car. And you're going to work on that car. Don't you have to work on that car maybe how long it take to get back the car to where it was before?
Oh, me just see where you're going. But if you don't get good mechanics to fix the car, listen to Mr. Senior, me hear the analogy where you use, but me I say if you don't get good mechanics to fix it, it not gonna fix up good. You come like one bad mechanic who just fix it up and give it.
I did not say bad or good mechanic, you know. Me say if you have a car and you need it to fix up, whether you are fix it or
yes, but you need good mechanic to fix it, Mr. Senior.
What?
You need good mechanic or body man to fix it up.
Don't you have to fix back that car?
Yes, but you need good mechanic to fix it.
Don't you have to fix the car?
Yes, Mr. Senior, but you need good mechanics to fix it.
Okay. In 2016, what was the crime rate?
In 2016, 1,350 murders that year.
1,650 something.
1,350. I have the information in front of me.
Hold on. And you said every year average, this prime minister have the country with 1,360 from that time till now.
Yes, sir.
What is the crime rate today?
Yeah, we haven't completed a year yet. What do you mean what the crime rate?
No.
For 3 months, how much months ago in the year? 5 months?
What was it for last year?
The crime rate today is 37% less than last year.
Listen to what me I say. Listen to what me I say. Because listen, una spread this narrative like say, the way all this government hypocritically, strategically trying to solve crime is disingenuous to the Jamaican people. I'm just spit in the face of the Jamaican people. We are not saying you could have done this long time.
And your disregard for the lives saved is also disingenuous.
Yeah.
We're gonna say good afternoon to you today.
You are
Have a blessed day.
disingenuous.
Happy Sabbath, Mr. Diego. Next time you come, ensure that you like the live, send a gift, and share it to the comrade group. Have a good afternoon.
But I don't want to have another conversation with you.
Mary, you can go ahead.
Good morning. You see, the thing is, these people burn the house down to get control of it. And if it means that they have to burn the house down. So we can safely say that because crime is getting under, murders rather, is coming under control. They're not happy about it. So they go at lengths to find reason why the government is doing something wrong, why crime is going down. And you can conclude the People's National Party actually trying to influence people to commit murders so as to put the government in a bad light. If we are to go by the commentators who are supporting the People's National Party. Because if you see, there's a time when they were clamoring for a crime plan, right? And everybody wanted to hear what is the plan of the government. There's a time when the government instituted this state of emergency as a means of assisting the police, the security forces in stabilizing crime. And we saw where the murder rate was heading in the right direction. And the People's National Party took the government to court, saying that the government was trampling upon the rights of ordinary Jamaican citizens. Just because government gave the security forces, the soldiers, police powers, and they were able to arrest ordinary citizens in a state of emergency. They took the government to court and got a constitutional, got a verdict to say that it was unconstitutional, which limits how long the government can extend the state of emergency. Now, if you tell me that we see people losing their lives and a measure was put in place
They must load up them matic. And when the gunman them come, them blast them up. Make Andrew Holness say something like that. And it's in that people vote her in. You hear me say? The Prime Minister say they must load up their matic with the extension clip. And when the criminal come in at their house, them light them up. You hear me say to you say? And then vote them in. Vote her in. The people them fed up by the crime. So make them do what they do, Jamaican girl. Make them continue because they won't see back Jamaica house. Simple. Virgin, best upon yourself, you know. And Barry,
thank you, soldier. Have a good day.
Barry, I don't want you make them enjoy you out, you know, Barry. I
No,
don't
man,
want you make
not
them
at
enjoy
all,
you.
man. Not at all.
Barry, I
Yes.
don't want they make you enjoy them out. You hear me?
All right, sir.
All right. Best upon yourself.
You know, it's kind of disingenuous at the PMP to want to reap the benefits. That's what them always do, you know, them always do that. The efforts of the Bruce Golden-led administration to dismantle criminal elements and gangs, PMP actually benefited from that significantly. And in 2017, 2018, my Prime Minister literally cried tears, begging the PMP, say, listen, come to me. Went to Mark Golden and Peter Mountain and said, listen, Peter Phillips at the time and said, listen to me, guys. Come, let us band together. Let us take on this monster called crime and defeat. And they agreed to 1 and 2 state of emergency. And when they realize the magnitude of what is happening in terms of what is going to happen when this thing has been solved, PMP said, no more. And from that day, they have been fighting the state of emergency to now, right? They have been fighting it. And we can't allow PMP to discredit the efforts of the government. And a lot of these projects that are on stream now, guys, go on to look. They were either in manifesto of 2020 or they were mentioned after the government formed the government in 2020. We can't forget that we had COVID-19 and the global supply chain went to a halt. The government had to divert a lot of resources to take care of health and take care of its people. We came back out, and a lot of those programs and projects came onto stream, and we already know the red tape and the bureaucracy as it terms for projects. And we want some of the projects to start now. They must start next 3 years because of how things are, how things were designed. Because the PMP could not trust its own self. PMP set up one man to watch him man, we are going to make a project. Then they set up one other man to watch him man, we watch a man. They set up one next man to watch whole 4 of them, and then they have one next man to watch the next 5. That is what we have to go through to get things done in Jamaica. And it's hard. Therefore, even sometimes when an administration have things on paper to get done, it is so difficult to get things done in 1 term, right? And that is why my government says, listen, we are going to fix that issue. So whatever projects that you're saying now, it's an electoral ploy, lies. Guys, me challenge you, use Google, no man. Go on JIS, no man, and look for the information. It is there. Government made promises and allocation of money to these projects years ago. So
yes, we know. Yes.
Nonsense.
I work in a government system as well, so I'm very familiar with the process. It takes forever. So nothing that is being done now could have started last week or the week before. Some of these things, I would tell you how difficult it is to even get some pipes, because a lot of these pipes coming from other countries. You'd have had to procure some of these pipes some 2-3 years for the bulk orders that they would need in order to even begin the projects. So these things could not have just started because it's an election year. Things would have had to be planned, approved, and in play years ago. So do not be fooled, people, that things are just happening because we are in an election year. That is not the truth. Go ahead, Casey.
Exactly.
Already see the budget.
So whoever is telling you that
the budget is not an election budget, you know, guys.
Right.
So when am I coming down on?
Carl, and then we go back to you for the forecast, Casey.
Whoever tells you that you're getting water because it's an election year is insulting your intelligence. Whoever tells you that you're getting road because it's an election year is insulting your intelligence. Whoever tells you that the crime is going down because it's an election year is indeed insulting your intelligence, because none of these things happen overnight or over a year or two. It would have to be carefully planned, and systems would have to be in place for them to happen. Another thing, you guys, I want to point out to you guys, if you were in opposition and you were trying to win the election, where will you attack the government? Wouldn't you attack the government on things that would have the biggest impact in favor of the government?
So, yes, certainly.
The thing is, crime, unemployment, unemployment, and the economy is the three main talking points every time an election comes around, in whichever country. And those are three places that you cannot touch this JLP government. So what the PNP has done with the help of civil society, I'm not in representational politics, so I can speak my mind. With the help of civil society, is trying to downplay the good that the government have done with these three things in particular, because they hit back on the unemployment, low unemployment, saying that people are the minimum wage is low and they are providing low wage jobs. When the fact is, I don't know what happened to the JLP communication machinery, but the fact is, people at every level that is working more money than they have ever worked before, including minimum wage, teacher, everybody is working more money than they have ever worked before. And if you couple it with any currency, you would see that it can buy way more than it could buy 9 years ago. With the crime going down, the opposition would have need the help of civil society group, and Jamaican for Justice would be the obvious one, because they could protest against the government.
Yes.
In the name of human and constitutional right, and in order to make it not look like a political protest, they would have to be protesting against the police. So while the JFJ protests against the police, the opposition is protesting against the government with the same kind of protest. They are sending a coordinated subliminal message. With the economy now, we have had, say, 2 negative quarters after a hurricane, but the fact is we have had about 19 consecutive positive quarter. So I don't know how the media and the JLP allow the PNP and their well-wishers to kind of isolate those 2 quarters and make an argument from them. And what I really think, people wonder why the government have done so well and is in an election battle, is because of the communication and the fight that the government get from civil society groups and media, because they don't point out these things because they don't want to. So imagine you have 19 consecutive positive quarter, even going through a pandemic, and then you have a hurricane, then you have flooding, then you have 2 negative quarter, and the main talking point is if we went through a recession. Like, really? So you realize that in terms of media coverage, the talking points that the PNP have created have gotten more traction than the real issues. And even with this JFJ protest, a lot of us look at it as a nothing protest, but what could they have achieved from it? What they have achieved, and I think their intention was to get people to talk about it. And then it kind of deflect from the good job that the police and the government have been doing, because what's on the lips of people talking about if they were extrajudicial killing or not. You know, so having these conversation is really giving in to the narrative that the opposition and their minions are setting.
I agree, Casey. I agree, because the most
I think it's
important
high
thing from
time
it
we
is
have
that
more
crime is
positive
down.
conversations.
Yes, true.
Because it's what however I take my pen and my paper up and think about it from a political point of view, all these things that are happening, they are the only play the opposition had.
Yes.
And you guys are giving into it. Diego is not trying to make sense. Diego is trying to keep the conversation going.
True.
So he what? He succeeded in distracting you for what? 2 hours, and have people listening to that conversation, and look at how many good is going on in the country.
Well said, Casey. Carl, let us hear from you quickly, and then we'll go to our forecasting. Barry, we're gonna ask you to stay with us for the forecasting, please.
Yeah, so I've been listening to the conversation from morning, from when Chops Media and Mr. Vegas and from Conrad O'Brien and about a few minutes ago, Diego. Now I don't know what Diego is talking about. I don't know which government would have a crime plan to reduce crime and wait until an election is months away to implement that plan. That is the most nonsensical argument I've ever seen, I've ever heard, right? Because what he's saying is that the government purposely, right, have a plan to curb crime and deliberately wait until 2-3 months before an election to implement that plan. Now, that make any sense?
Not
Huh?
at all, not
No,
at all. And Carl, a lot
Right.
of these persons that would have died are voters. So why would you intentionally want to lower your number of possible voters? Doesn't make any sense at all.
It doesn't make any sense. So when I hear him, I say, you know what, sometimes we just engage in conversation for those conversation's sake, right? And I heard him mention that the People's National Party has brought down crime. And it was pointed out to him that in 1989, the murder rate was 434 per year up in that particular year. And it has gone up in 2016, 2015 to as much as 1,618, right? So I don't know where we have gotten his talking points from, but they don't add up, because I don't know which government is going to wait until months before an election to implement a crime plan. What the government has been doing strategically over the period is give the police force the requisite resources to combat crime. They have gotten brand new police cars. They have gotten a lot of upgrade in terms of their police station. New police stations are being built. They have gotten a good wage increase, and you know that when they get a good wage increase, it will boost the morale of the police force, and they will be more enthusiastic in terms of going out there and executing their duties. So this argument about the government has 9 years, and it's a talking point that doesn't make sense. It's as if day one the government should come in and implement everything right across the board and fix everything. Things takes time, right? So why the government should come in on day one and implement a policy to curb crime? Why did they even do it in prior to election in 2020? Why didn't they bring down crime prior to election in 2020? Why wait until 2025 in their second term, going for a third term? So sometimes I not really bother come on to engage certain people, because it aggravate me, and it make me aggravate me. It make me put in a corner now, yes, and people say me disrespectful, and so me just listen, where Diego really come with, Adam. It not add up. And the thing is too, if crime is going down, every single Jamaican should be happy. I am not saying that the country doesn't have a history of extrajudicial killing by the police. Yes, we have that problem. But at the same time, if crime, and that is what I am not saying that the JFJ shouldn't go out there and protest, but to label the protest, right? That they are coming out, they are saying no to police violence. It's as if the police is going out there and wantonly murdering people for no reason whatsoever, right?
Yes.
And I heard one of the presenters on the platform here earlier said he has observed that when the police has gone about their duties, and especially where these people are being killed, these so-called criminals are being killed, they are not being killed in the area that they are from. They are killed in outside of the area, and that tells me that the whole operation is intelligence driven, right?
Certainly.
So we have to be careful. We have to balance it. Yes, we have cases of police excesses in the country, and at the same time, we have another excess whereby which criminals have been committing heinous crimes right across the board from year to year. So that's a balance that we have to strike. And we don't want to demoralize the police and go back to where we were coming from, where the distrust in the police force was so high. Now, you see, even up until recent, and this is unprecedented in Jamaica, where you see people come out openly and supported the police. In previous years gone by, you wouldn't have that. It doesn't matter what the police has done, what good they have done. Citizens will still come out and give them a bad name. But now we are seeing a reverse, where citizens are now coming out lauding the police for their work. So we must appreciate it, man. And if the People's National Party should come to power, God forbid, the next couple of months from now, it is going to look good on them, because I know the momentum is going to carry right throughout the year, right? And when crime goes down, all of us benefit. And I'll land right there.
Well said, Carl. Well said. Thank you very much for your contribution.
Yes.
I mean, even the argument of the body-worn cameras. Why would you buy body-worn cameras when these officers don't even have a vehicle? They barely have a police station. Are they going to wear the cameras and just look at each other? You have to build out the thing before we get to there. Those things were more critical than getting body-worn cameras.
Yeah, oh, exactly. So we have to solve that problem first before we turn to the body cameras. Yes, I see what you're saying now. Yes.
So thank you guys. Remember to share the live, tap the screen, send a gift, help us to reach our live goal. So we're gonna hand over to Neighbor and Casey now for the broadcasting.
I'm gonna jump off now anyhow. Thank you very much.
Right. Casey, you ready for us?
But before you go, Jamaican girl, I mean, I just want to say this. If you're a farmer, right, and you plant yam, the more yield you have, the better it is for you. Now, if an organization wants to see more murders and more crime, it only could be considered a criminal organization. That is what you are into. Right? So I am assuming that the PMP has labeled themselves a criminal organization to the point where they do not want to see crime go down because they benefit from high crime rate, you know?
Thank you, Barry. Casey?
Yes.
Okay. Neighbor?
Yes, I'm here.
Neighbor, are you there? Oh, Neighbor said to give him some time. Okay. All right. So let us see if there is anybody else in the chat.
Okay.
We just take them quickly.
You know, while you're waiting for those persons to come on, I was listening to a young man last night, you know, and he was talking about the growth rate in the country, and he was saying that growth is on a downward trajectory, and we had negative growth in 2 quarters of 2024, And I was pointing out to him that we had 10 consecutive quarters of growth, or 19 consecutive quarters of growth. Before at those two downward growth, and they were caused by the advent of those two the hurricane and the weather conditions that we had in the 2024. And he was at pains to tell us that we were not growing. But the issue is that I listened to a live on the PMP. It was a training session for the PMP, and I somehow got onto the live, and they were strategizing as to how they were going to put their arguments across. And one of the main points, they were like, even though we know some of these things, what the labor rights are saying, we cannot admit, and we have to develop a talking point, and we have to stick to it. Hugh Blair was in there. Hugh Blair was there. Hugh Richards was there. The One Nation Voice of
the Nation
was there, and there's another one. What's his name again? Diego was there too, and I was listening to them, and there were some other people I don't know them because it was the first time I was hearing those people. It was a training session as to how to approach the Labor Rights Live, and they are going to make sure that every Labor Rights Live they go into the it's a plan. And I'm sorry I was not able to record it and share it with Labor Rights Lives, because these PMP, they have sat down and they have orchestrated a plan to disrupt the Labor Rights Lives and to kind of antagonize and to cause us to become peeved, by their they know what they're saying is not true. And so we have to be very careful. And last night I had to say to Mr. Senior, you are a big man, don't listen to these people because they are very, very arrogant and unintelligent. And even if they know what the truth, they are not going to admit. So,
yes, I don't think we need to waste time going over things where the facts are available.
That's right.
And we waste a lot of time going over opinions and emotions. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Trace, are you with us? Trace? All right, Trace, we'll try back later. Casey?
Yeah.
All right, so let us go into the forecasting until neighbor comes back. Yeah, let us just go into the forecasting until neighbor comes back. So where are you taking us today? Casey, you hearing me?
Yes. Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and where are you taking us today?
So, Jamaican girl.
Yes.
So the other busy parish. Two of the busiest parishes will be Manchester and St. Mary, and we're going to St. Mary today.
Okay.
And St. Mary is the parish the PNP are making their biggest pitch. St. Mary is the parish they know, and it's no secret that they need to sweep St. Mary, tree love, if they are to have any chance of winning the general election. And
who do we have in St. Mary?
In the work.
We have how many constituencies in St. Mary?
There are 3 constituencies in St. Mary.
Okay.
Southeast St. Mary and Dr. Dunn. And he's been challenged by Chris Brown. There's Central St. Mary. The incumbent member of parliament is Dr. Maurice Guy. He's not seeking re-election. He has been replaced for the PNP by Omar Newell. And the challenger there is Nathaniel Maraj for the JLP, a young man who has a bright future, and he's getting some really good traction in Central St. Mary. And then there is Western St. Mary, the big one, the chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party, Robert Bobby Montague. is being challenged aggressively by Arville Woodbine, a son of the soil in Western St. Mary. I'm very confident Arville Woodbine was whipping the crowd into a frenzy last night because the PNP had a mass meeting in Western St. Mary.
Thank Casey, you know, last election, with the exception of Warmington, Mr. Montague had the most voters. Mr. Montague was able to pull, I think, some 9,700 voters.
Yeah. Yes. He
Prince
would have been
Arts,
maybe
we are
third
doing
after
some
Charles
forecasting now, Prince. Yes, go ahead, Casey.
Yes, he would have gotten some amount of. It's a big constituency, you know.
Yeah,
it's a very big constituency.
And Casey, Woodbine comes to that constituency as a son of the soil, and also as a contractor, a road contractor who comes with a lot of resources, and so that is why it probably brings into question whether or not, I mean, it's going to be a walkover for Bobby Montague, because Woodbine resources based on what you would assume is endless.
It's never a walkover.
No, it's
in
never
Western St. Mary for nobody. Yes, it's going to be a tightly contested seat. The organization of the political party who wants to win will have to be top notch, and I expect maybe for the first time, I expect both candidates to go over 9,800 votes, because I really think this will be a challenge. I expect Bobby Montague to win with some 11,000 votes, because the votes are there, and when he is threatened, he's a very honest man, and he know when he is threatened. And if you're really watching the politics, some people look at the politics when the election comes around. That seat was in play about 1.5 to 2 years ago.
And Casey, the other thing with Montague, you know the politics.
The chairman. It's no secret that the chairman was sent home to be with his constituents.
Yeah. And the thing is,
that tells me that the JLP and the MP, Barry?
Yeah, Casey, what I was saying is that, and why I have some confidence in Montague is that he knows the politics. He is the Jamaica Labour Party, I should say, lecturer when it comes on to organization, political organization. So when you go to a political meeting and you're talking a workers meeting and you want somebody to tell you how to organize a constituency, a workers meeting, a division, or a branch, Bobby Montague is the man who everybody turns to. He knows the history, he knows the organization, he knows how to organize. And if he bring those skills to fore, I mean, it's going to be a tough battle for Woodbine.
Yes, Casey.
But the question is, does Bobby Montague still has the electorate? Because he could go in there and take out 11,000 at one point. Are they still available? I think there is still work to be done. And I think if the work is done by time, he will come up with 11,000 votes and he will win the constituency again.
Thank you, Jamaica.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. I was punishing you a little bit there, you know.
I realized.
All right. So we are in St. Mary, and Casey, you are suggesting that
Yes.
the seat that Bobby Montague had 2 years ago, that seat would have been in play. All right.
Yes.
Yes, but at this point, you did not yesterday.
Yes. There were reports
as a safe seat for the Labour Party, but today you are saying that St. Mary Western is leaning to JLP. Okay.
Yes,
I'm not
it's
sure.
still a JLP seat. It's still there's no surprising element this time around for the PNP. I think Bobby and the JLP was surprised in 2011 by the PNP and Jolie and Silvera. There is no surprising element this time around. The JLP have done their groundwork and know where they are short, and I think they will take it home. I think they will withstand any challenge in that constituency.
All right, so the Labour Party,
because of the decision.
The Labour Party have 2 seats in St. Mary. You are suggesting that the chairman of the Labour Party, Bobby Montague, his seat is likely to remain safe. How about Dr. Dunn?
I think Dr. Dunn's seat is lesser in play than Bobby Montague. Normally, it would be the other way around. But I think Dr. Dunn also have some work to do. But the Southeast St. Mary seat will be a surer bet in the JLP column than the Western St. Mary. And I do think Western St. Mary will come home to the JLP. So it's at least 2 there for the JLP, despite the efforts of the PNP. But the work will have to be done.
Did you just say that Dr. Dunn's seat is safer at the moment than Bobby's?
Than Bobby's, yes.
Huh? Barry, what do you think about that?
Well,
Yes.
the thing is, Dr. Dunn came into politics as not a man who actually need politics, but more so who the politics needs, based on his resources and how well he would have done for himself as a pharmacist. He did not need politics. Politics needed Dr. Dunn, and I think if he had continued on that same trajectory that he started on, I mean, it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, I think Casey's prediction would be correct because he's a son of the soil. He ran on the fact that his mother sold in the market, and the people loved him. The people supported him. He was there. He took the prime minister barefooted across rivers to show the plight of what is happening in his constituency, and the people catch on to that. That was also a Phillips in the Jamaica Labour Party feather in the Jamaica Labour Party's cap in their last campaign when Dr. Dunn constituency was toured. You know what I mean? So I think that should come home for the Jamaica Labour Party if Dr. Dunn continues to do his work and do it well, you know?
Fantastic.
Yes.
So
after the election result, after the election result, a lot of people may still disagree with me, even when JLP win the 2 seat, because when the work is finished in Western St. Mary, what will happen is Western St. Mary will bring out bigger numbers. So the margin of victory in Western St. Mary might be bigger. But I still think if the work is not done, if no more work is done in both constituency, Western is more under threat than Southeast. I hope you get what I'm saying.
yeah, fascinating stuff. I'm awed to hear that Don is Don is not is doing so well. And you still hold Casey that Central St. Mary is a toss-up at this time?
Yes, it's a toss-up. The JLP have done some work in Central St. Mary, and I don't know if it will be enough. And I don't put it in the safe column for the PNP, but I will call it for the PNP. I will still call it for the PNP.
All right, so we have covered St. Mary.
I'll say though, never. You see, if we look at what has happened over the years with Dr. Guy, he has been losing steam over the years, and I think that the margin of victory has been reduced over the last 3 elections, you know, and so with 2 newcomers coming into the seat, and Maraj being a well-loved person in St. Mary, I would want to put it more to the Jamaica Labour Party side than I'd put it to the PNP because of how it has been evolving over the years. And I think based on what people see happening in other Jamaica Labour Party constituency, they are now going to want to see something of that sort happening in their constituency. So to give the Jamaica Labour Party a chance in Central St. Mary is probably going to be firm on the minds of the people, the constituents of Central St. Mary.
We're talking about Central St. Mary, you know, in a Barry.
Yes, sir. And I said, Dr. Guy has been losing some steam over the last 3 elections. And so as a result of that, with 2 new candidates in, right? And Maraj being a very popular young man, right? And doing some real good work in the constituency, and with the tide going with the Jamaica Labour Party in terms of all the work that they've been doing right now, and the popularity of the leader, I would want to give the nod to Maraj down in Central St. Mary.
Yes. Wow.
That's not under my forecast though. He is not winning as far as I'm seeing. Omar Newell is a favorite.
Yes.
He's challenging well and he's doing some work, but the PNP and Omar Newell is a favorite in Central St. Mary. There's no doubt about that. I would love to talk up a victory for Maraj and put Maraj in the ascendancy if I could with words, but he's doing well and things may change, but the PNP is the favorite in Central St. Mary. There's no nod. I can't give Maraj any nod. I would love to. I would have given him my vote. But the truth is the truth.
All right, Casey, what's next for us?
Yes. A lot of people are asking about St. Anne Southeast.
Yes, I see the PNP with an impressive showing over there. What's happening over in St. Anne Southeast?
Yes. St. Anne Southeast, if you remember, the PNP held on by 32 votes. With who was their most popular candidate in Lisa Hanna. So the strides that JLP have made in Southeast St. Anne is no fluke, because despite the swing, we know that Lisa Hanna still carry a lot of weight. And for that to come within the margin of 32 seats, and most people are agreeing that if the JLP didn't change their candidate last minute in that election, they would have won it. And you will have to agree because he was there campaigning.
So although Miss Hanna is not running, you think she still has influence there? Well, people are going to.
Yes, I think she still have influence there, but Mr. Russell would have less influence. And come on, you can influence the seat the most if you're running.
Yes.
You can influence it if you're not running, but by how much? So JLP is stronger than they have ever been in that constituency. I don't know if this swing will be of the nature that it was, or of the strength that it was last general election, because a lot of things have changed on the ground in numerous constituencies. I see the JLP catapulting Odian Pierre down there just now. Dr. Russell have been there for a while, and Dr. Russell is strong. I expect that to be a battle. It will be one for the books on election night, but unfortunately for the JLP well-wishers, I still have it in the PNP column.
And I think I'd want to agree with Casey on that. And you have to bear in mind too that Lisa Anna held on to that, even though she had a lot of opposition from some of her councillors, you know, and she was having some issues with some of her councillors down in that seat. So I guess they did not provide the kind of local government, the local support that would have helped her to kind of win a bigger margin. Even though we saw the good doctor was actually asked to step down because of COVID issues, you know. Because we had those issues in the seat with the PMP, if that doctor had continued, then we probably would have won the seat for the Jamaica Labour Party. But things may have changed since then. I'm not sure with Russell coming in, if he was able to unite the party, the constituents and the councillors down there. But it's yet to be seen. So I am saying that one still a toss-up, you know. It's a battleground seat for both political parties.
You are talking about Southeastern Sudan?
Yes, sir.
No, man, but come on. Yeah.
It will not be a battleground. It will only be a battleground if the JLP have a big lead.
Yes.
If we're expecting a close election, that will go to the PNP.
Yeah.
There isn't much on the ground there in the constituency that suggests that if it is close in the entire country, that it will be close in St. Anne Southeast. It's still a stronger ground for the PNP.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying for that
and I don't see the candidate impact for me to factor in that. As I said, the JLP have just sent a candidate down there.
All right.
And the candidate won't be able to impact in time either. He'll just have to go along with the ride. So I guess Adrian will enjoy his ride on based on how Andrew drives the bus.
Yes.
Well, let us see. I mean, it's one of those I'm watching though.
Yes.
You know? Not counting it for the JLP, you know, but I'm not counting it out.
An interesting one, and it has to be interesting because Southeast St. Anne is, I ticked it off for the PNP, despite not having in the safe column in the event of a recurrence of the last general election. But I ticked it off for the PNP. There's Southwest St. Anne and Northeast St. Anne that I think is safe JLP. See, there are safe JLP territory with admired candidate in Xavier Main and Matthew Samuda.
Yeah.
There's a lady from St. Thomas, I think from St. Thomas Western. She was councillor in St. Thomas Western. She was the one who went to St. Anne Northwest and sent Dr. Dayton Campbell packing. That's Crystal Lee.
Yes.
She have grown very strong in that constituency, and despite mounting pressure and a rising base of the People's National Party, she managed to bring home her 4 councillors for the JLP in Centre and Northwest. A local government, in a local government election, which the PNP would have performed very strongly, admirably. And the JLP is known, it's well documented that the JLP have underperformed in that local government election.
Yeah, they didn't take it.
Having it. She brought home her 4 councillors, which tell you that as far as the organization and the togetherness in that constituency is concerned, the JLP and Crystal Lee is very, very strong. And I want to say that's one of the seats that most people, most forecasters, even some pollsters may have it as a battleground. I think it will be firmly in the column of the Jamaica Labour Party.
All right, Casey. So as we close out this week, tell us then, where do you see the election at this point? In terms of how many seats you see the JLP retaining, winning, and do the same for the PNP. Let us close out this week with where you see the situation at this time.
You mean an overall forecast?
Yes.
Yes. In my overall forecast, I still have the JLP winning the general election. And I have them winning, and let me count. Not doing this from my head today.
Yes.
I'm using notes. Trying to find these notes because I have 24 in the safe column from yesterday. We spoke about those yesterday.
Yes, 23 actually.
Yes, you might have had 23 because for some reason we forgot the breadbasket parish. You realize we didn't do that parish yesterday?
Yes. All right. So listeners, we want to close out today's with the week's forecast. We'll do this every week. Reviewing the seats, we want to come to the national picture now. Where does it stand as you have it on your in your things, Casey?
Okay. So we start with 24 in the safe column, and we have 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36 for the JLP at the moment.
All right. So at the moment, based on your research and statistics and how you see things, you are calling it for
Yes.
you are calling it 36 for the JLP.
Yes, I'm calling. At worst, I'm calling 36 for the JLP at the moment.
Yes, and that means that the
That's
PNP
the
walks
election
away with how many?
result. That would be 27. And that's the best PNP result from my forecast.
But this is not. But this is a close election, Casey.
No.
Yes.
If
and I would have given. I would have given. Let me tell you, in that 27,
yes,
all the seats that I identified as battleground,
I
would have put them in the PNP 27.
Yeah. So if you now say which are the safe seats for the PNP, it would
because I would have what the 36 I give you is the one that I would have ticked off for the JLP. That I would have edged JLP. The one that I have 50-50 like Westmoreland West, Westmoreland Central, North Trelawney, Northwest Manchester, Central Manchester, even Southeast St. Elizabeth. I would have just done the deduction from the 36. So it would be at best for the PNP. So that's how I'm doing the forecast.
All right, and basically,
So
at best for the JLP,
yes,
at worst for the JLP, it's 36, right?
it's 36 seats.
Right.
Yes.
So at best for the JLP, it could be 49, 53.
Hold on. What is it?
Let me tell you, at best for the, let me give you the numbers as I have them written down. At best for the JLP, it could be 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. So essentially what I have here, neighbor, is 36 seats for the JLP and 8 firmly in the battleground, 50-50, which makes 44. And that leaves 19 seats for the PNP.
Yeah, Casey, but you would have assigned these seats to look at the national picture. That's what I'm asking you for. What does the national picture look like now?
$44.19.
Sorry. So how you start? So wait. You have moved from 36.
All right, neighbor.
Well, it was 36 safe JLP seat.
All right, so neighbor, what
Yes,
I'm understanding him to say, right? He would have given 36 seats that are safe for the Jamaica Labour Party. So in other words, he's calling the election for the Jamaica Labour Party with a minimum of 36 seats, right?
All right. So the worst the Labour Party will do is 36, based on what he's saying.
Right, and there are 8 seats that he would consider battleground that he would have given to the PNP to make theirs 19, right? To make theirs 27. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And then, so the worst that it could be for the PNP would be 19, and the best it could be for them is 27. And he's saying that the worst it could be for JLP is 36, and the best it could be is 44. Right? I am not necessarily. I would say the best. And my take would be the best for the JLP would be about 49. Right? Not necessarily keeping all of the current 49 that they have, but picking up 1 or 2 somewhere to make up those that they would have lost.
Yes. Go ahead, Barry.
Yes, yeah, man. So basically, that's what I'm saying. So I mean, when you think about it, it's not bad, but I would probably give the JLP a couple more seats, you know. But I mean, where he's at, it's not bad because there's still work to be done, and they say a day in politics is a very long time.
And neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Neighbor.
Yes, sir.
Incidentally, after weeks of forecasting and going deeper and deeper and edging seat, pushing seats where I think they will go, taking seat out of safe column to put them in battleground or marginal, I still end up with 44 seats. That's what I started with.
You cannot see, there has been no change really.
No, there has been no change really.
All right, can you repeat for the listeners the results of the election as you are forecasting this 3rd day of May? You tell us again, Casey, the seat count based on your forecast. And I want you to give us the details in terms of how you arrive at these figures. We're making notes.
Well, it will be 44-19. It will be 44-19 based on the constituency. I have identified that the JLP will not lose. The constituencies that I've identified that the PNP will not lose, and the battleground constituency that I think JLP are stronger and are getting stronger in, and the battleground constituency which I think PNP are stronger and is getting stronger in.
All right, so the 5 seats that you have the PNP picking up, you don't want to say those?
Pardon me?
If the PNP goes up to 19, they would have picked up 5 seats.
Yes, they would have picked up 5 seats.
Cumulatively though, because you don't have them losing any.
What I have is the seat that they would have lost ground in have gone to the battleground, but not over to the JLP.
Yes.
And even though momentum maybe with the JLP candidate in one of those seats or 2 of those seats, I can't safely put it in the JLP column.
Right. So
I let them stay with the incumbent.
Back door open.
So I'm asking you to give us the basis for this forecast. How you arrived at these numbers.
Okay. The thing is, neighbor, in this election, I look at the voter's intention. What the voter vote for, what will they be voting for, and how have they voted in the past. And in 34 of these 63 constituencies, I see the JLP stronger due to realignment in the political divide.
Yes.
And those would be the 34 seats that the JLP went in to the general election with in 2020. And they had some problem in Eastern Hanover. And I think they are back in Eastern Hanover. As a matter of fact, Eastern Hanover is even stronger than some of the other 34 now, and is only getting stronger. And they have picked up 15 seats from the PNP that of the 29 that the PNP had going into the 2020 election. And there are 2 of those 15 seats, which is Northern Clarendon, the White Sibley's, and Northwest St. Anne, Crystal Lee, that the JLP are really strong in, and I don't see them losing. So 2 of those 15 have gone over to the JLP based on the grabbing of the opportunity by the MP. I don't see the PNP really standing a chance. Who's that?
Aha.
Barry, mute that person. Yes. So in the other 15 in the other 13 of the 15 constituencies that the JLP took from the PNP, there are 1 Western Westmoreland, 2 South Manchester, and 3 Northern Clarendon that the JLP have given up the opportunity by having to replace the candidate who was voted in as MP for whatever reason. And it's widely documented, or the narrative is that it's caused by underperformance. So that would have been missed opportunity. However, in 2 of those constituencies, the PNP have missed the opportunity to regain the strength in the constituency by bringing former MP from next door who was voted out in the last election. So I essentially put those in the battleground for the reasons that the JLP has blundered in the constituency and the PNP has blundered also. Both of them have stronger PNP lineage in terms of traditional voting, but both of them were also voted. PNP also lost them the last election. So you see where I'm coming from? And that's how I arrive at a battleground, and then comes down to the candidate.
Yes.
In Western Westmoreland, I think Garfield James is as strong a candidate as Ian Hills. I tell you that I wanted about 2 weeks before I forecast anything on Western Westmoreland. But however, I think the JLP base is still depleted. Garfield James' team is strong, but if you're going to win Western Westmoreland for the JLP, you need every vote you can get. And everybody who supports Moreland Wilson, the JLP need them on their team. So it's if they will get those support by the election.
I got you.
Over in South Manchester, yes. Over in South Manchester, I think both parties also missed opportunity. And based on the fact that Peter Bunting is Peter Bunting, I know the downside is that he was next door in central Manchester, and it's documented that he hasn't done a lot, but he is Peter Bunting. He has some political pedigree. He knows how to win an election. Ian Ives is well liked, and there's a buzz among Labourites about the prospect of Ian Ives being the candidate. But I don't know if he can match Peter Bunting as far as running an election campaign and winning is concerned. So there you see, that's my basis to put that seat over, to edge that one over in the PNP column.
Yes.
So that's really it's information like those that I really use to determine where the close and margin seat is more likely to go.
There you have it, listeners. We do the work for you and give you the information. Now it's your time. 9 minutes you have. If you have a question, if you have a comment, you have 9 minutes to get it in, because we only have 9 minutes left. So let's go. Let's hear from you on your comments. Remember, no, not a prediction, a comment. If you have something to say, somebody's talking about Central Westmoreland, Casey. Somebody's asking about Central Westmoreland. Oh.
Yeah, Central Westmoreland is one that I put firmly in as a battleground constituency. And the reason why I didn't edge it,
not hearing you, Casey.
Yes. the reason why I didn't edge Central Westmoreland over for the JLP is because it's traditionally PNP. But based on what I'm seeing, it will be a battleground. It will be a 50-50 seat. But remember, I also need to take history into consideration. And that's why most of these battlegrounds that I don't see enough to conclude that they are definitely JLP in the ascendancy. I put them in PNP, in the PNP column, edge them PNP for the reason that they have been voting PNP over the years. But Central Westmoreland is a battleground, and Central Westmoreland has always been a battleground constituency. The only battleground constituency in Westmoreland over the years.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. It's 7 minutes. You got 5 minutes. Come on quickly. Big man, we want to hear you. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, big up. Well, listen, you and a gentleman were talking yesterday about Western Westmoreland, and it will be a battlefield. But to be honest, I'm in Westmoreland, even though I don't vote in this constituency, but I'm in Westmoreland now. And last week, Sunday, I see Ian keep a meeting down by the square, the town square of Negril, whereby I could count the people. I could send you a picture because of video it. So I could count the people right there. And you have man like, I think Nathan Cambrica, here in Vice. And you have man like Paul Wellward here. And trust me, I don't see Western Westmoreland as a battle. It's a clear win for the JLP. Yes, there's a little problem going on there. And I hope the GenSec just clear up the little part there and set things straight, because the people really believe in the old, veteran MP who create history within that constituency. Well, it's a party, we apply for do them thing. I can't tell them how to do it, but I can see victory for Central, Western Westmoreland for the Jamaica Labour Party. And it's a clear victory.
My friend is asking, why aren't we able to get more votes out? Let me tell you something. Many Jamaicans want to be involved, but they want to be involved on a certain term. We have to improve the politics. We have to improve the politics. If we're going to attract more people, we have to improve the politics, eh? The politics right now is very divisive.
Oh yes, we will make our new start.
So big man, you're saying Westmoreland is locked up, eh? You don't see the closeness there?
To be honest, Western Westmoreland, if you check history, it's a Labourite stronghold too, but things can slip up, and now I guarantee it's been back in a Labourite stronghold, and I guarantee if the people just forgot the whole past and come back together as one, I guarantee it's a sure victory for the Jamaica Labour Party. I mean, not a battleground.
Do you realize, listeners, and I made this point earlier this week, that when our politicians stand up to speak, they really are only speaking to the crowd in front of them, not realizing that they need to start speaking to Jamaicans. So they only speak to the people that come to the meeting. Some of our politicians are not very smart, they're not politically smart. We have to listen to me. Have you ever been to one of these political meetings? They only attract, I'm sorry, I really am sorry. Well, you think, why I tell you, let's leave that alone. 2 minutes to 1 o'clock. Jake?
Yes. Good afternoon. What the listener said about Western Westmoreland, I think he's sleeping. I understand.
He's sleeping?
Yeah, he's sleeping. I'm talking about.
Let's find out if he's sleeping. Let's find out if he's sleeping because he probably is. Hold on.
Sleeping. He's
big man.
Yes.
Are you awake,
man,
sir?
Yeah, man. Me hear him. Me hear what the virgin I say, but me not like to know why him say that.
No, sir. He's awake. He's awake. Talk to him.
Oh, he's awake. Oh, he's listening. All right. First of all, the one meeting that he keeping in Negril Square are what he said. But when you're talking about stronghold in Westmoreland, Western, you have to talk about Grangeville. Grangeville is one of the second biggest community in Jamaica, living community in Jamaica, and Grangeville is PNP area. You understand me? And talking about Negril. Negril is a town area. You don't have a lot of people living in Negril, like Grangeville, Local London, Big Bridge. Come on. All of those places are PNP areas. You understand me? So most people didn't vote in 2020. And now coming around this year, people's gonna vote for PNP. And everyone know that. This is the 3 seat for Westmoreland, straight PNP.
May I ask you a question, Jake? May I ask you a question?
Yes.
May I ask you a question, sir?
Yeah, you can. You can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Would you admit, Mr. Jake, that the PNP's record in Westmoreland is nothing short of abysmal?
Yeah, they do slip up at times. I can say that.
No, man. You're a honest man. The PNP's record there is not very impressive.
No, that's true.
That is true?
Yeah, that's true.
Hold on.
Especially with Matt Neal. Matt Neal didn't do a good job. I understand, but you cannot.
There you go. Hold on.
You cannot say Matt Neal.
Hold on.
I'm listening.
Just hold on a minute.
Oh yeah.
And my dear sir, you admit to us that the PNP's record over in Westmoreland is not very impressive. Yet the people will return them.
Of course.
How you explain that?
Moreland Hill didn't do anything for Western
No,
Westmoreland.
man, don't go to the JLP yet. Just stay with the question. How you explain that you are, for example, if you have a girlfriend and you treat her with disdain and she left you, and you're not offering her anything too substantial right now, and she will come back?
Well, sometimes you have to look into this, and people do believe in changes. You understand? And I think this time around the PNP will do a better job because
so
this government,
the people are prepared to give the PNP another chance.
Of course,
hoping that they will do a good job this time around.
It's not hoping they're going to do a good job.
You admitted, sir, that they do not have a history of performing, and the people know that. But the people are so wedded to the PNP that, boy, we can't leave them. We have to just go back to them.
No, it's not about that because JP is not doing anything now because they get a term now and they're not doing anything neither.
You have
to look at that.
When you argue, you see, you have to argue so that the argument is logical. We can deal with that as a separate issue. What we want to find out is why would people respond in such a way? Because you are saying to me that the PNP they really never did nothing much. But the people take a little break and then say, no, but you know what, we're going back to them. How you explain that type of behavior?
All right. This time around, the PNP is more working there on the ground. We can see they are more in the community. They are going out. You understand me? They are talking. They have a plan in hand. You have to give people a chance. But listen. Can I say something? No. Can I say something? You have to give people a chance a second time around. You understand? Back then, politics back then is different from now. People don't really one-sided politics anymore. Like, I was a PNP, I vote Labour right because I want to see the change, if you understand what I'm saying. But making a change didn't make any sense because they are not doing anything for Westmoreland either. Yeah, understand me? There's nothing the JLP do for Westmoreland. And we know that. Everyone living in Westmoreland know that. There's nothing, no road, no development, nothing at all in Westmoreland.
Yes? Hello?
So people,
Are
so
you hearing
people
me, sir?
yeah, I'm hearing you.
You are saying that the party that is currently occupying the seats over there
Yes.
have not made any significant changes either?
Nothing. Nothing whatsoever. Nothing.
You mean nothing whatsoever, sir?
Nothing. Have you ever been to Granger before?
Yes,
Have
sir.
you,
But
have you
the
ever driven
PNP
from
not
Granger
have
to
that
Little
for
London?
how many years?
It
Hello?
doesn't matter what. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. So all the PNP is doing is walking and talking, and that is sufficient for you to say, yes, give them another chance? Boy, I tell you. Are you hearing me, sir?
We try to defend corruption because they know that